Namaskar, good afternoon to all. Annyeong Hasanika. Hope you and your family are safe and healthy. This is Sonu Trivedi, Director of the Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center, Embassy of India in Seoul, welcoming you all to this 6th edition of Sarang, the Festival of India in Republic of Korea. Well, friends, like previous years, for Sarang, we are not able to meet face to face today. But given the restrictions posed by the global pandemic, we have tried our best to bring the diverse cultural canvas of incredible India at your doorsteps through series of events organized via digital mediums and live on our social media platforms too. Today, besides this live interaction, we are also live streaming the session on Facebook at ICCR in Republic of Korea. You may share the feed on your respective timelines. Let me tell you, friends, especially to those who are joining for the first time for Sarang, starting in 2015, Sarang is the cultural festival introducing India's colorful and diverse heritage and has since then grown in size and popularity, promoting soft power in its truest sense and contributing to its rich civilizational legacy and cultural vibrancy. The word Sarang has a very meaningful interpretation for both Koreans and Indians. Sarang in Korean means love, and for Indians, it refers to diversity representing different colors of India. As a part of this festival, we try to showcase the rich cultural diversity of India represented through various art forms, including dance, drama, music, films, and cuisine. This description of diversity captures the hearts and minds of the local community in Korea and strengthens the love and friendship between the people of the two countries. Without much ado, let me now call upon Her Excellency Shri Priya Ranganathan, Ambassador of India to Republic of Korea, for her welcome remarks. Over to you, ma'am.
Good afternoon, friends. Annyeongha Shimnika, Namaskar. It is such a pleasure to be able to greet you all today and welcome you for this official launch of our COVID-19 version of Sarang, which I think I can say with a degree of pride and confidence has truly become much awaited element on the cultural calendar of Korea. Unfortunately, we are not going to have the opportunity to do the kind of festival that we have become accustomed to over the past 5 years. But I think we are doing the best that we can in the circumstances, and I feel very privileged to be able to be part of this conversation between one of our most talented and one of the most popular film personalities of India, Mr. Imtiaz Ali. I'm so glad that you could join us today. And of course, our very own local Indian media personality, Lucky. Lucky, it's been a long time since I've seen you. So look forward to seeing you in person sometime soon. One of my experiences in the 2 years that I've spent in Korea is that truly the power of Bollywood is something that is the reach of Bollywood is something that is very visible and very tangible. I think the image of Indian films has been a very positive and a strong one. Films like some very meaningful films like Dangal have done very well, not as well as they could have because of various reasons. But there is an appreciation and knowledge of what the Indian film industry is about, the strength of our film tradition. And that is something that we've also tried to highlight and showcase through our Sarang Film Festival, which we've been organizing every year. This year also we will be having a slightly truncated version of the festival. What we have tried to do is really bring to the people of Korea through this film festival a flavor of the diversity of the Indian film tradition. So we try to pick up award-winning films from across the country. Some Hindi, some Tamil, some Bengali, some Assamese, and so on. We get them subtitled or dubbed in Korean, and by that means we've been able to reach a much wider audience. For instance, last year we started our festival with Superstar, which was which I thought, you could see the kind of impact it left on the audience. So just like in India, we tend to be very emotional, and we respond very immediately to what is happening on the screen. I saw many wet eyes in the audience that day, and I guess that is another way of for us to find the kind of connections that exist between the people of India and the people of Korea. So I will not go bore you with a lot of details of the revised version of Sarang that we are doing this year. I'm sure that will be, all of you who are interested, please take a look at our Facebook page and at our website. All the details are up there. But I'm very, very excited and keen to hear what is going to come out the course of this conversation between Lucky and Mr. Ali. So welcome once again to our platform, and I hope that our Korean friends will enjoy this conversation as much as I am going to. Thank you so much. Kamsahamnida.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am, for your welcome remarks. Let me also now share with you about a very special competition that we announced in just 1 month ago. And that was for the first time that we did it. And it was called as the YouTuber Video Competition. We have invited the YouTubers based in Korea to create videos with new and fresh perspective on India. And the Best Team Award will be announced today now. I'll be announcing the award in a short while. The winning team will be awarded 2 round-trip flight tickets to India. The ticket will be valid for the next financial year, starting from April 2021 and it will be valid till March 2022. Hopefully, travel restrictions would ease out by then. The tickets have been sponsored by Ministry of Tourism, Government of India. And thank you, Ms. Padmini Brahma from Tokyo Tourism Office of Ministry of Tourism, Government of India for all the support. Let me now announce the winner of this competition. The Best Video Award goes to the YouTube, which is called as the Kimchi Curry Smile. Thank you, Mr. Lee, for your interest and love for India. We will share the video after this event. And let us now continue with our main event, which is the conversation with Mr. Imtiaz Ali. And let us move to that main section. It is a personal pleasure and delight to welcome Mr. Imtiaz Ali, who is an Indian film director, producer, and writer. In 2005, he made his directorial debut with Socha Na Tha. He earned critical and commercial success for his second film, Jab We Met, in 2007, Love Aajkal in 2009, Rockstar in 2011, and the list goes on. Imtiaz Ali began his career directing TV programs, including Kurukshetra for Zee TV and Imtihan for Doordarshan, after which he moved over to Bollywood films in 2005. He also started his film production company, Window Seat Films, and released films like Highway in 2014, Tamasha in 2015, Jab Harry Met Sejal in 2017. His latest film, Love Aajkal, was released in February 2020. To be in conversation with Mr. Imtiaz Ali, we have a very special guest, Mr. Lucky, who most of the Koreans and Indians who are staying in Korea are already familiar with. I'm delighted to call upon Mr. Lucky, the most famous Indian in Korea, as he is popularly known as. He is a TV personality and a restaurateur. It is indeed a great privilege to welcome Mr. Imtiaz Ali and Mr. Lucky once again, and we all look forward to the insightful conversation that would follow now. Over to you, Mr. Lucky.
Thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this online version of the Festival of India in South Korea, Sarang 2020. Imtiaz, big annyeonghaseyo, namaste to you. Can you hear me well?
Very well.
Welcome once again. And wish you a belated happy birthday. You know, I was just going through your profile and I came to realize your birthday is on 16th of June. Am I right?
Yes,
right,
my birthday is on the 16th of June, yes.
And it's a fortunate my birthday is on 16th of June as well. I was born 7 years later. So,
amazing. That's amazing.
I always explain this to my Korean friends, like 16 June is right in the middle of
Middle of the year,
365 days.
yes.
So we have the perfect balance. Anyways,
Yes.
good to see you here. Big fan.
Thank
It's an honor. I have watched
you.
all your movies a couple of times and recommended to a lot of my Korean friends. So to begin with, obviously, I know you get this question all the time. What was the moment you wanted to be a movie maker?
So let me first thank everybody, the two beautiful ladies before, and congratulate Sonu by saying that this is being very well run. And congratulations to the winner of the YouTube video. I'm really looking forward to watch your film, which you made called the Kimchi Curry Smile, right? That sounds very Indo-Korean, and I'm really looking forward to watching that. It's a great pleasure for me to be here. It would have been a greater pleasure to actually visit the Republic of Korea, and I am a fan of the way the country has evolved in the last few decades. And also, I'm a fan of, like the whole world, of the cinema that is coming out from Korea. And I'm a fan of the food of Korea for a very long time. And it's hopefully someday I'll get there and learn from them how to be so resilient, so positive, so that, the rest of the world starts to emulate you. So Lucky, thank you very much. And it's an honor. I feel lucky that my birthday is on the 16th as well. And yes, over to you. You asked me a question. What is the moment?
Yes, I know, we have so many questions, so we have just picked a few of them. And to begin with, I just want to
right.
What was the moment you wanted to be a movie maker?
Actually,
it's a question much getting all the time.
Honestly speaking, there was no moment where I decided to or wanted to be a movie maker. Since I'm from a small town, and at that point of time, nobody around me was from the film industry, really. I did not think that I'll ever become a film director or make movies. I had a dream, of course, that there is a white-colored building in Bombay somewhere, which is the film industry. It has many small offices, and all the producers and directors have, each one has an office. And if you're good, then they take you to be a part of the film industry.
That's interesting.
But that is when I was 10 years old. And then when I grew up, I started doing whatever came my way. First theater, then television. And, one day I realized that I'm already directing a film.
Wow. That's, it's interesting how the way you projected about the movie industry, having a white building in your head. But I have watched so many of your movies so many times. Like living in a country away from your home country. There's times when you have to get inspiration. For example, your movie Jab We Met is a very beautiful movie. Love Aajkal, I'm also a very big fan of it. Rockstar, I still play those songs in my car when I'm driving in Seoul. So you have given us so many good songs and so many good movies. And I always try to recommend your movies from my perspective. But you are the maker of this movie, and this is all your children's. So I just had this curiosity, like if you want to recommend pick one of your movies for Korean audience, what would you like to suggest? What movie would you recommend from your movie list?
I feel that looking at the films, looking at Korean films, the few that I've seen, I would first recommend Rockstar.
Okay.
Because I feel that since it's about music, it will pervade the language barrier. Secondly, I feel that I've seen a lot of Korean films are very dramatic about the screenplay.
Can I ask which Korean movies have you seen? Any movie name you can recall? Any Korean movie?
I've seen a lot of them, but unfortunately, I don't remember most of the names. Of course, I've seen the movies of Bong Joon-ho.
Oh yeah, he is the the one
Yeah,
who
so
made Parasite.
yes, he made Parasite, but I'm really a fan of a movie called Memory of Murders,
Yes.
which was a movie many years back.
Starring Mitchell. Yes.
Yes. And that movie I felt, for instance, was so beautiful in the way that the screenplay was structured. It's a technical point, but I feel that the audience of Korea is a little advanced in the kind of screenplay you can write for them. So I feel that Rockstar perhaps I'll recommend.
It's very interesting you recommend this movie because usually I also get this question most of the times like what's the big difference between Indian movies and Korean movies? And watching movies from India and Korea in so many years, I always felt like the big difference between Indian and Korean movies is Korean movies, they don't have much of happy endings. They just end on a very as realistic it is. Whereas the Indian movies, they always have this a happy ending. And somehow when I saw Rockstar, that was one movie which actually had a very realistic end. Like so, yeah, it's a great pick. Uh, and I mean, how do you get the inspiration to make this movie? Like what are the things which changed your life, the way you approach or look upon this movies? Like what made you make this movie?
See, there is always, I think it was a predisposition with me that I always had an imagination of the world going on simultaneously with the experience of the real world. I would
Okay.
always imagine what could have happened if I'm in a train and I'm seeing some person, and then I'm imagining what could have happened if that person would have missed the train. So I have humored myself all my life, and I'm still doing so by thinking about stories around the people that I meet. That has transferred into filmmaking, so to speak. Now, for instance, about Rockstar. When I was a kid, I used to feel that, I want to be a great person. I want to be a good and big and, famous. But the problem was that every time I read the life story of somebody who was famous and especially an artist, there are many times that I realized that they've had a lot of tragedies in their lives. Tragic events, and then I used to wonder that there is no tragic event in my life, and I'm already 15 years old, and I'm not even an adopted child, because I used to think that maybe if I were adopted, I would have some angst and some problems. And I felt that I'm not even I'm not even falling sick or have a near death experience or anything of that sort. I've not really undergone all those things that children might have. So how am I going to become great? I used to very deeply miss tragedy in my life because I felt that that's a prerequisite for greatness. And so that thought kind of remained with me, and that's the thought that I think Jordan, or the protagonist of Rockstar, he has that he wants his heart to be broken so that he can create good music. And so something that I could understand and I found funny and significant at the same time, because I do not know the answer of that even now. So something like that I have felt, but in a different way, I think leads to a story.
Wow. It's like you mentioned about Jordan from the movie Rockstar. Of course, how he evolves from his tragedy to make all this great music in the movie. So once again, I would like to recommend all the Korean fans who are watching this live streaming right now. Do watch the movie Rockstar whenever you get a time. It's a great movie, of course, made by the great Imtiaz Ali. We are in conversation with right now. But, like you just mentioned, you have when we see your movies, and a lot of my other friends, they say like your characters are so much from real life. Like you can you can attach yourself with them, you can connect with them. But creating all these characters, like you mentioned, there is something you might have watched or learned from some real persons in life. What is the most memorable movie character you have? Like, which is the most closest or something which you felt very close to yourself while making the movie?
I felt about Jordan actually. I felt
Okay.
about the character of Rockstar. Um,
Are you
about
good in singing?
No, I'm not good at singing, so I'm
No,
not going to
just
attempt
okay.
that. But in terms of the characteristics, so sometimes when something is so far away from you, you get fascinated by it. You know, like I feel that Jordan is not like me in any way. He's not articulate. I'm much more decent than him. You know, I can think. He can't think. Um, but that also leads me to discover a side that I don't have, which is what makes him close to me. You understand? Sometimes
I,
you have to be far to be
I,
close.
I can totally relate. You know, like when we started the whole conversation, being a June born, we are a perfect Gemini. You know, you always have two sides of yourself. So I can relate to what you're saying right now. Yeah, please carry on.
Yeah. So similarly, another very famous character, as in not a very famous character, but the character of Geet Dhillon in Jab We Met was a lot of people gave her a lot of love. Again, the same thing that she talks so much and she's unabashed. She's not shy, you know. And I wish I was like that when I was
Okay.
when I was growing up. I used to wish that I had that courage to go and speak to everybody all the time, but I didn't have it. So, which is why she's dear to me. Um, so yeah, sometimes you get to do in films what you can't do in real life, or what you haven't ended up doing in real life, and that's why those characters that are doing things that are different from you, that actually remain closer to heart.
It's probably it's another way of expressing your inner self, which you won't be able to do in your real life. You might be doing it through your movies, I guess.
Yes, you're right.
That, that's you know, it's very interesting to hear all these stories. You know, like we have watched these movies in years, and now through this Sarang Festival, we are getting to know more about these movies. You know, it makes more interesting. Now, I mean, I'm sure you are a movie buff. Like you said, you wanted to be a movie maker from your childhood. Uh, and I'm sure you must have watched movies from all over the world. But now again, coming back to the Indian movie industry, uh, besides your movie, if you want to pick three movies from the Indian movie industry, what movie will be that?
For the Korean audience,
Yes, for the Korean audience.
well, I would say definitely watch a movie called Sholay, which is the
Okay.
good old film which was released in 19. The moment I said Sholay, Miss Ranganathan smiled. So that's how much that movie means to every Indian. And it was obviously made many years back, 1975, I think it was made. But one must
Yeah.
watch Sholay because a lot of things come together, and it's a very good, great film. It's perhaps the biggest film that has been made in India. Then, talking about recent films, I would say see Munna Bhai Part 2, which is
Munna Bhai.
Munna Bhai MBBS.
Okay.
I would say watch that film. Again, because it will give you the texture of how things are happening over here, and people might be fascinated because it's also to do with the philosophy of Gandhi.
Yeah.
It's a very beautiful way of expressing that. I think as Indians, we have two things to boast about, and one of them is philosophy, and the other is diversity. So you see that in that film.
It's
And
I think
then
so. Yeah.
talking about a third film, you know, the one that, like, I'd like to think of a recent film,
Yeah. Sure.
but I can't really remember anything right now. So I'll go really back in the past and ask them to see a film called Mughal-e-Azam,
Oh,
which was
that's a cult. That's
made
a
like,
very
it's
classic.
a cult film, it's a classic film, but it's also a very good film. I've had the privilege of watching it recently, and I realized that none of it is redundant. It's actually very beautifully done. So Mughal-e-Azam was made much before I was born as well.
Given
Imagine
at the
how-
times when you have limited technical skills, I think it's a very well-made movie as well.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, I'm quite surprised when you said Munna Bhai MBBS Part 2, which is called Lagero Munna Bhai, I guess.
Yeah. Yes. you're right.
In Korea, I don't know the exact year, but there is a Korean movie called Tusabu Ilche. Tusabu Ilche. And the storyline is more or less than Munna Bhai, actually.
Okay.
So there are two gangsters, and the big boss says, like, any one of you who will be a better educated, who will pass the high school, I will make him my next leader. So they both actually go at an old age, being these gangsters to actually. So I find kind of similarity between these two movies, which is very interesting.
Which
And
movie
always,
was made first?
that's interesting point. You know, like we have to go through the timeline of that. But Tusabu Ilche, I'll probably send you this link of this movie later on. Just for it's a very interesting, very funny movie, especially for us to watch it. So yeah, that's very well picked movies you mentioned to us. Now, I mean, you know, like thanks once again to, for joining us through this web call. You said you have watched a lot of Korean movies, but you know, being living here for so many years, we just want to know your thoughts. Like, what comes in your mind when you think about South Korea? Like, what pops in your head? Like,
See, what pops in my head right now is the fact that they have gone through, like they have really, they are potential world leaders in a way of. I feel that it must be very well organized, or people must be very creative and innovative in Korea. That's what I'm thinking now. Before that, what I used to be thinking is kimchi. That there's a certain taste to the food of Korea,
okay,
and I've always been a fan of that food. So that is what I used to think of Korea to begin with. Then I was when I was growing up, I used to think of Korea as the place of taekwondo.
okay,
And then I saw Memories of Murder. Then I used to think that so that was Korea for me. Memories of Murder, and people that are very expressive and even violent potentially. But now recently I've seen how this country has really evolved. Really, I think sociopolitically and in many ways. And I don't know as much as any of you know. I know the least. But the impression that one has of the Republic of Korea is that it's a place of great advancement. Like new things are happening, and maybe they can teach us a thing or two about how to move on in this modern world. When I see, for instance, the fact that the winners of the video competition are being given 2 round trips to India, I think there is already something that you guys have learned from Korea. I feel, because what will happen is that June will go there after having made kimchi curry smile. More ideas will come to his mind about India. Maybe
It's
he'll
so
make something about India. And then it'll be
smiling
better
right
for
now.
all of us, and definitely for the Ministry of Tourism of India, right? So that's the way to go forward.
I can see June smiling right now. He's really happy and looking forward to visit India again. Well, like you mentioned, I don't know. Have you ever been to Korea before? You never had a chance to visit
No,
Korea?
unfortunately, I've only visited.
No.
Sorry, I've only crossed over while going to America sometimes.
Okay, you just had a
But-
transit here. Okay.
Yeah,
no,
but my niece is there, whose name is Nida, and I'm waiting if her face could somehow show up at some point of time.
She's living in Korea.
She lives in Korea, yes. She went to
wow.
study, and I think she's also doing some work over there
Okay, which
So
city in
she's
Korea, Seoul or some other city?
in Seoul. Yes, that's
In-
where she is. Yes. Hi, Nida.
Nida has joined.
That's her.
Okay. Oh, that's your niece. Oh, hi. How are you? 안녕하세요.
She's muted, I think.
Okay. Does she speak any Korean? I get very nervous when I see any other Indian speaking Korean. I feel like I have to lose my job now.
No, she doesn't. I'm sure she manages a little bit. She's very intelligent and a bit shy, and she's looking very pretty right now.
Yes. No, I mean, like, I'm sure she's using a lot of Korean cosmetics and Korean face masks to make that look good.
Oh yeah. No, she doesn't need it. She's never needed that.
No, no. I'm sure she gives you a lot of feedbacks from Korea, like how safe and the way the
Oh, yeah.
whole country has actually handled the COVID situation. Like it's very
Oh yeah,
unfortunate.
yes, because
Yeah.
she said she went on set and started shooting at a time when we couldn't even imagine it in India. And then actually, COVID pandemic started much earlier in,
End of Feb. Yes.
Korea than in here. So you guys managed to just come out of it so soon, and that's the kind of thing that I mean. That it's a place of advancement. It's a place of progress.
It's also the way the whole thing was handled. Like there was sanitizers in every places, even in the lift, elevator, public places, and rather pressing the panic button, everybody was asked to wear the mask because they found that the best thing you can prevent or protect yourself is by wearing a mask. And initially, people were queuing up to buying masks, where rest were people were like they had a different misinformations to how to manage things. So in that perspective, when the whole situation happened in Korea in late Feb, everybody was panicking and said like, maybe it's not safe to be here. And now probably Korea is one of the safest places, the way they have handled the COVID situation. Especially me, even running a restaurant, we never had a complete lockdown. So I
Oh,
think
yeah?
in that way, yes,
That's amazing.
we never had a complete lockdown. So I mean, like they were social distancing and
Yeah.
the way everything handled is plausible. I mean, now we're coming to like you do any interview or anything these days, you can't escape the question from coronavirus, COVID-19. So now I'm sure like your work must have been affected a lot through Corona-19. Now, being in cinema, what you think COVID will, what changes you think it will bring to cinema and in theaters in coming term? Because this is not a one day thing, it's going to be there for a while. So what is your thinking process in that perspective? Like how cinema will get changed from there?
I think the long lasting effect of Corona on the film industry will be this, that overall the creative quality of films will improve. And the reason I say it is born out of personal experience, because I realized in these 6 months where I've been under lockdown pretty much, that in my years of being a film director, I've never really had the chance to do things that I think are important for me or good cinema, often because I have been doing things that are urgent, that this is happening, I have to do it, and I have to do that. And a few ideas were just left on the side, and I did not have the time to refine them or indulge with them and bring out something which I haven't been able to before. Because there was always like, everybody is in a hurry in this world for some reason. Now, when these 6-7 months happened and I had as much time as I wanted to look at whatever I wanted to look at, I realized that this has a potential of improving my own films as it goes forward, because you get time to refine yourself. So I feel this is the long lasting impact. Of course, there is already a lot of problem in the Indian film industry, especially for those that were daily wagers who used to get money every day for the work that they do. Being out of work has been a very big problem for them. It has been a problem for everybody financially. But I think those are wounds that can heal. And the big advantage of making better content. And also, the other thing is that we also understand what the digital medium is. Before this, I feel that everyone in India used to think of the digital medium as a ghost. That, oh, we'll do this on the digital medium, blah blah blah. Also, a lot of people used to think that the digital medium is like if you make a film and it's not good, then it will come into the digital medium. If it is not good enough for the theatrical medium, that is not the case.
Yeah.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you very well.
Yeah. So we have begun to understand the digital medium and what you can do in OTT platforms vis-a-vis cinema, the splendor of the big screen cinema theater, as long as I'm alive, will always be there, because I feel there is nothing like that. But a digital platform has its own space, and you can make different kind of content for it. So this definition also has been understood, at least by the filmmakers in India.
Yeah, it's a it's very interesting. Like I was having a conversation with a few of my friends in the movie industry in Korea, and they say during the Corona situation, how people have actually started watching movie more on the digital platform, and also with the VR technology evolving so much, they have a different movie experiences. It's very interesting the way you put this. Well, just merging one question with this, it's my personal question to you. You think now there is no boundaries, because of the OTT platform, people can watch a content from any part of the world, from anywhere, if you have a proper internet access. Do you want to make something for the Korean audience? You want to produce or direct a movie for the Korean audience?
Yeah. Organize. Speak to your friends in the Korean film industry, Lucky. I've already come to know that you're pretty influential out there. So not only do you have restaurants, which are the best places in the world for me, but now you also know people in the film industry. Get me work, and I'll come and.
No, this the question was asked through the Cross Picture CEO Thomas Ihan came. He has made a few Korean remakes in Bollywood, actually, in India.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So it was his question.
No, so I see more and more. I think as we go along, we should think that the films that we are making are not for one particular region.
Yes.
They can be of interest to everybody. A series that is made in Colombia starts to acquire its popularity by audience in Japan. I'm talking about Narcos. That's how it began. I think if all goes well, I should try to make movies that will get popular in other countries apart from India as well, as man was saying that Dangal has, and many other films have. And yeah, and also, personally in my life, I've been traveling a lot. And when you travel, you see the perspectives of other people. You gain, I feel that cinema ultimately is the knowledge of the people that you're making the films for, or at least interest in them. So as the range increases, I feel that, my films can also be popular in Korea.
I'm sure there will be more interesting things happening, and we are looking forward. Once the traveling restrictions are okay, I'm sure you will find some time. And like you said, you have also a reason to travel because of the food. So of course we have a proper Indian food served for you. Now coming back to the food
I'm
section,
not going to eat Indian food in Korea, man.
Don't worry,
we'll take you to a Korean place. Yeah,
I'll use my 25 years of experience to make sure you have the proper, street, not the very fancy Korean food, what Korean people eat after they finish work in the office. So I'll take you to the proper hardcore Korean places. Don't worry on that.
Now I feel that my participation in this talk has been fruitful.
Very fruitful. No, we are very excited. I was talking to so much of my friends. You are a great movie maker, and it's a real honor and pleasure. This is thanks to the Sarang Festival. I'm having a chat with you. Now coming back, it's a festival of India in South Korea.
Yes.
And, you have recommended a few movies to be watched, and we can never escape finish a conversation without talking about Indian food. It's a festival of India in Korea, and being the most famous filmmaker in India, what are the 3 Indian dishes you would like to recommend for the Korean people? Like, these are the Imtiaz's 3 favorite food to try out. And please pick something from the menu in my restaurant so I can actually help it to make it up.
Oh yeah, I don't know what. So I feel that. See, the Indian food, everyone must understand, is very diverse.
It is.
Because because the people of India are so diverse. Every
I
200
was
kilometers, people in India are talking a different language. There is that much diversity. That kind of diversity also exists in the food. So what I'm going to say, what I like the most is actually just mutton curry,
oh okay. That's
meat curry, the
Yango
Indian style.
curry, lamb curry. Okay.
What's it called?
Uh, Mutton is not a very common language, so they use the word lamb of course.
Lamb.
So I
Fine.
actually recommend mostly the Rogan Josh or the Nihari, which are very good signature menus from Indian
Right.
cuisine.
Right. So Nihari is awesome. Rogan Josh is from Kashmir.
Yes.
But everybody makes these dishes differently. It's really a question of how good they are. But what I like most is the home style mutton curry.
Yes. No, it's
So
it's it's one of my favorite
that,
as well. Because
yeah,
usually in Korea, most of the people they are known with tandooris or the butter chicken. So I always tell them like this is very famous food, but this is not we eat usually in home every day. So I try to give a different perspective on that. Uh, Quite interesting, and also like when you mentioned like the food recipes are so different.
yeah,
Um, I always mention my friends in Korea. You can tell in India where a person belongs by what he eats for his breakfast. That much
yes,
of difference we have in our table. So, well,
yes,
uh, we know what movies you like. We know the food you like, and now based on so we had created a voting online through our cultural center, and they have given some recommendations. So they have picked certain recommendation, which is very interesting. You want me to read? I'm going to read it out for you.
yeah.
So
Nida,
these are
make
the
a
things.
note, send it to me.
Yes, I will. I will send it to you. I quickly read out
All right.
so
Okay.
the audience get the idea as well. Many people think Korea is only a non-vegetarian country.
Yeah.
On the contrary, the temple food is amazing. The amount of veggies they use, and they actually don't cook the vegetables with oil or something. So the actual texture is maintained that way. So a temple food for vegetarians, because most of the
Wow.
people who think it will be very difficult to survive in Korea, vegetarian food has a great option, less spicy, less oily, very healthy, and also a temple stay. Have you ever heard about temple stay?
No, man. That's so awesome. I never
So now
expected that.
Korea, there are a lot of Buddhists in Korea. I would say half the population believes in Buddhism, and there are a lot of beautiful temples in Korea. So if you go to the temple, they have this experience for the locals as well as foreigners, where you can stay and actually have this meditation process for a day or two. It depends how much time you want to spend. So you can heal yourself, you can detox yourself, and it's a very popular recommendation for most of the expats who are visiting here. And of course, just to give you a little bit more details about Korea, they have recommended you for hiking. Now,
Oh, yeah.
Koreans they love to hike. They have this proper gear, they have proper shoes, and they're dressing for hiking.
Yeah,
Because
I love it too. I spend as much time as I can in the Himalayas in the
okay,
north. So I'd definitely love to do the second in Korea. First, I don't know whether they'll allow me in a temple, but
no, of course they will. Everybody's welcome here. Everybody's welcome in the temple, and
no,
also
no,
for
I'm
the
not
hiking.
saying about religion. I'm just saying about like, they'll check my past record.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll figure out. Just to give information, like 70% of Korean landscape is covered with mountains, so it's a very beautiful place to
Wow.
do hiking. And they have also mentioned a lot of traditional market too, because Korea also
Oh, I'd
boasts
love
about
that.
their local markets where you can find the life of Korea. I mean, Korea has developed a lot. You will see all this modernization, and everything. But besides all this modernization, if you go at the back alleys, you will still see this local markets for which has been intact for a couple of decades. So that's also very
That's
interesting.
amazing.
And are you a big fan of chicken?
No,
All right, because there is a huge list of Korean chicken menu they want to try.
just change the meat to any other.
Okay,
All other meats
because
are welcome.
yeah, Koreans are very fond about their fried chicken. Now the
Oh,
term KFC is called Korean fried chicken. and you can't escape the word KFC in Korea because they have over
For sure.
300 varieties of chicken
Wow.
marinated with different things. So yeah, these are the things. But of course, we will send you the list and
Yes, please.
and make sure whenever you have a time to come to Korea, we will be more than happy to host you. Now, also coming back to all the viewers who are watching, I'm sure the Cultural Center has picked few people who have some questions to be asked. Okay, let me. Mr. Lee Sung Jun, are you there?
Hi.
Hi,
Congratulations.
नमस्ते मेरा नाम
नमस्ते,
जून है
कैसे हैं?
आपसे मिलकर खुशी हुई
बहुत खुशी हुई
मुझे भी
आपसे
खुशी
आपसे
हुई।
हिंदी बोल के बहुत खुशी हुई.
The movie When Harry Met Sally, it was very impressive movie to me, and because I'm so interested in Bollywood, I went to Mumbai and I attended to a Bollywood dance academy for 1 month. I sang, although I didn't understand much. So to become an actor in Bollywood movie, what quality and talents do I need? I would like to learn.
We saw the movie when Harry met Sejal.
Oh, okay.
And he also went for dancing Indian movie dancing classes in Mumbai for a month. And he says like, what would you recommend to him to become an actor in Indian movie industry? Like, what would you say? Any few words for him?
So, I would say do theater. Do theater in any language, in any culture. But the more theater you do, I feel as an actor, you develop more.
All right, lot of hard work. You have to. Sungjun, you have to work. 영국을 많이 하시래요. 영국도 이렇게 배우를 되려면 열심히 하시고 알아두셨으면 하는 거. 다음 분 한 번 제가 또 불러보겠습니다.
네, 감사합니다.
next one is, 네, 감사합니다. Mr. Swapnil.
Before we get on to Swapnil, Lucky, may I ask you a question?
Yes, sure. You can ask me as many questions you have. We thought you're a busy one. That's why we are.
Tell me about your restaurants. I'd like to know what restaurants you have.
I basically came 25 years ago to Korea, and I studied Korean language. And
Where did you come from?
I come from actually Nagpur. My birthplace is Nagpur.
Achha.
My father was from Coal Mines, Coal Limited, and now we're based in New Delhi. But TV thing happened by accident. You know, they were looking for a few foreign faces who can speak Korean, and that show became a very popular show, and it's on Netflix as well.
Wow.
So now I'm doing 5 shows in a week, and I shamelessly promote myself by telling I'm the most famous Indian in Korea. You know, it's, they made a documentary on me, and I'm trying to use that keyword. It's on the algorithm, but don't believe everything I say in that perspective. Yeah. So can we ask about my restaurant? You know, I just opened 2 years back, so it's a very new thing. I just wanted to introduce some home cooked recipes. So yeah, that's what the reason.
That's amazing. You're doing a great job.
Thank you. You know, it's very exciting. You know, it's a great initiative. Like how all of this have fallen in place together, and we're still carrying on with the Festival of India, Sarang, in Korea. So. Yes, moving back to the questions from the audience, can we have Mr. Swapnil?
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir. I have one question. If for Korean audience, if you would like to highlight the Indian movies, what are the three best things you will tell about Indian movies to the Korean audience?
Well, I would say definitely the use of music because it's very specific. Everybody knows about the Indian song and dance routine. But I think because we as a culture, India is evolving from stories which were told always with songs. Then there was there's something called Nautanki, which is the folk theater of India, that also has songs. So songs and stories, song and drama have always existed together in India, and that is how they have come into films. So the use of song and dance in cinema is something which is unique to us, and I'd like everyone to see. The second thing I feel is that the diversity. I feel that if you are in Delhi or Bombay or in any metropolitan city, you just look around in a room which has 50 people, and you will find that there are people speaking at least 7-8 languages. Just the diversity. So there are many Indian movies which also showcase that. And the third thing I would like people to watch out for Indian movies is the Himalayas. The hills of the Himalayas is the youngest and the tallest mountain range in the world. And they have an enigma and a lure of their own. So if you can watch Indian movies or any movies which show the Himalayas, then that is something that I, as an Indian, would like the world to see.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right. Now, can we have Mr. Nalin Singh's question, please? Mr. Nalin, are you there?
Yeah, hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, Nalin, we can hear you. Welcome
Yeah,
to the show. Hi.
Hi,
Good
Nalin.
afternoon, Imtiaz sir. Yeah, hi sir.
कैसे
How are
हो?
you? First class, first class, first class. Now, sir.
Studio है तुम्हारे पीछे.
Yes, sir. Sir.
That's amazing. So Nalin is a friend of mine from Hindu college, and
Okay,
he was
wow.
junior to me, and he's done
Oh.
exceedingly well in filmmaking. Has also established a lot of studios and a lot of teams, and has been doing a lot of work, half of which I don't even know. So it's a pleasure to see him.
Okay. Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot, sir. Now, I've seen Rockstar at least about 15 times.
Yeah.
In the song, I've got some blur letters there. So was Free Tibet a part of your script earlier, and then, later on you decided to not show it? You can be
So
diplomatic inside it.
No, not diplomatic. There's nothing to be diplomatic about. The fact is that, we were shooting with people that were that had an origin from Tibet earlier, and so there were banners because it was like a protest song. That particular song is like a protest song, So we had this scene that these people are protesting, and the banner said "Free Tibet." There were many banners like that, and the censor board thought it's not a great thing to do because the position of India, blah blah blah, politics, etc. So then I'm trying to understand what can be done, and then whatever was the next best thing we did.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right. Wow. It's we don't want to end this conversation. Shall we get one more question? Is it okay to? Do you have time, Imtiaz? Or
Yeah, sure.
Can we
Sure.
have one more question, please?
Yes, please.
Yes. You want to ask a question, please? Yes. Tania.
Oh, Tanaya. Oh,
Yeah,
hi.
Tania.
Oh,
Hi, Tania.
namaskar. Hi.
Hi, Tanaya.
Imtiaz
Tania, where are you
sir.
from?
Oh, I'm originally from New York, but I've been living back and forth between here and Korea for the past 6 years. I had to come back to New York because of the pandemic. So
Okay.
I've been in Korea for a long time. I've been losing my Korean actually, so it's a concern. But
No
I
worries.
am
You can answer in
descent.
English. Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, I am of Indian descent. What I wanted to ask, can't talk maybe because I'm nervous. Imtiaz sir, I wanted to ask you, in terms of your film Highway, it's actually one of my favorites, along with Jab We Met and Rockstar. The character that Alia Bhatt played, I was wondering, because she had so much anguish in her as a female character compared to the character Jordan from Rockstar. I wanted to personally ask you, how would you compare her rage that she had from that film, Highway, to Jordan's range that he eventually developed towards the end of Rockstar?
So I feel that I feel that Veera, that is Ali's character in Highway,
Mhm.
went through certain circumstances which are not of her doing. You know, she was more unfortunate because a crime happened to her when she was very young, repeatedly. That is not something that she wanted. Jordan, on the other hand, wants a tragedy to happen in his life. So in that way, they are very different from each other. Both the angst and the anguish is personal, that of Jordan and that of Veera. I feel that what Veera is looking at is funneling the experiences of the world inwards and healing herself. That is Alia's character. And what Jordan is looking at is funneling out the emotions and the angst that he feels and giving something to the world to hear. So Jordan is outputting while Veera is inputting. And both the processes can be healing, are important for healing. And Veera, I think, reaches somewhere in that journey. Jordan just gets left in between his journey.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Oh, if I may have a quick follow-up. Was
Yes,
it
sure.
you
Scott,
or
we have lots of people lined up, so just one question. We want everyone to give a chance.
okay,
Okay.
sorry.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. Now we have this very interesting question from Yi Do-hoon, who is a big movie buff here. He's asking like, you have very interesting locations in your movie, especially the background of Kashmir and Himalayas. Do you have any special interest for that? Like why you try to show more of those landscapes?
Yeah, I do. My special interest is my, interest in traveling, in going to these very interesting places. And when you go there, you think of stories. Those stories become the reason for you to go back there and shoot. And it's like a cause and effect of the same thing. But I love to discover places, and especially, as I said earlier in the talk, the Himalayas. I feel very energized by mountains. And so the personal reason is just to go. I also feel that mountains preserve culture better than the other landforms. Mountains and then deserts, they preserve the culture. And it's also said about mountains that, for the best of the mountains, you have to go there. You can't bring it out. Because once you
Absolutely.
bring
Completely agree
something
with
out of the mountains, it doesn't remain what it is supposed to remain. You have to go and experience it in the mountains. So, which is why I think tourism in the world has always been to go towards the mountains. So that's why I go.
I'm sure whenever you have chance to come to Korea, you will love. There's so much of mountain in Korea. You will have those positive energy.
Yes.
And now we have a question from very, very important person. Her Excellency Ms. Shripya Ranganathan, our ambassador. She has a question for you.
She looks surprised.
I
The
am
time is-
surprised because I didn't really have a question. I only had a comment, and this was more
No,
in
ma'am, it's very
response to
important to
some
have
of the
your word.
things which Mr. Ali mentioned. You mentioned Sholay, and I guess Sholay is just one of those films which has been part of most Indians' association with Indian films. And my dad, he was never a great film buff, but Sholay is one film that he always said that he had gone and watched. I can say it with the note of deep surprise that he watched it 21 times. 21 times for my dad to go and watch a Hindi film is, I think, something quite remarkable. And I just wanted to relay a message to our Korean friends here that since we have had the foresight and the good fortune of having taken two of your films, both Rockstar and Jab We Met, in our previous editions of our Sarang Festival, and we have them ready to screen with Korean subtitles. We're going to do an Imtiaz Ali special at the Cultural Center one of these days. I'll ask Sonu to tie that up, and so that we can enjoy your films once again with the fresh perspective that you have given us. So yeah, I didn't have
That's
a
awesome.
question for you, but yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
No, ma'am. Thank you very much. And now last question for you. It's from Mrs. Mrinal. Mrinal, are you there? Can we hear you?
Okay, I'm in school. I'm a teacher here in Seoul.
Okay. Hi, Tinu. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Lucky? So nice. I'm so glad I could attend this. It was just perfect. My kids go home at 4 o'clock, my students. So it was perfect timing to attend this,
Can we have your question for Imtiaz, please? Yes.
Yeah, so my question is, in 2005, the gangster movie was shot in Seoul. So we had all the film stars coming, and after that, nobody has come. How come? Why don't you all want to come to Seoul to shoot a movie?
No, I'll be the one to change that, hopefully. And actually, who went to shoot there is also a friend of mine, the film director Anurag Basu. And
yes,
I think he did it. Yeah, and I think he did a very good job in showing the little of Korea that he could in that film.
Yes.
I don't know why nobody went there again after that, but I would love to. I feel that there's much. I think things are very cinematic and very dramatic. It's somehow in Korea.
Okay. So we hope to see you come and shoot one of your movies. Okay.
I hope so.
Great. Nice talking to you. Thank you for answering my
question. Thank you very much, Tinu. Thank you.
Hi, Lucky. See you soon.
Bye. Imtiaz, now this is a very, very special person. His name is Thomas Hyunwoo Kim. He's a Korean guy, also CEO of Cross Pictures, an office in Bombay, making Korean remakes in India, actually. So he has a question for you.
Sure.
Hi, Imtiaz. This is Thomas.
Hi.
Korea.
Hi, Thomas.
It's a pleasure. I'm a big fan of your films, especially Highway, one of the first films that I've watched from Hindi space, and I just loved it. And it's great to have you.
He made the movie Teen in India, by the way, Imtiaz, just for the reference.
Okay, all right, okay. Teen, huh? Okay, yeah, that one, yes, I know.
It was a remake of a Korean movie. Yeah.
Very well done. There are so many Korean films that have been remade into Indian movies.
Yes.
Right. So yeah, my team is very active in Mumbai and in Hyderabad, producing films using Korean and Japanese content. And my question was, I think you partly answered, actually. You are interested in working outside of India, and we would love to have you in Korea, directing, either a Korean, project or maybe an Indian project that happens in Korea. So we would love to have you here someday. And I travel to Mumbai often, not these days because of Corona, but yeah, we would love to, see more of your films in Korea someday. So thank you. Thanks for sharing your thoughts today.
And also, just on that topic, it's been of personal interest to me to find out how you can make a production which is equally entertaining and for two different cultures. Now there are lots of people, like my niece lives in Korea, and there could be a story about her and other people in Korea. So is it possible to make films that can be of interest to both those film cultures? This is something that I have been thinking about ever since I've been traveling abroad, because I have also done a lot of shooting abroad. Something which because nowadays, the language barrier can be taken care of because of the various things that are happening now. That technology has gone ahead. The type of screenplay that you can write can be different. And I'm really looking at a creatively cross-cultural film at some point of time. So hopefully we can take that forward.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, that's what I think we should, try to do. And I realize that the two cultures, Indian culture and Korean culture, are not too different. There are a
They
lot
are
of,
not, no, they're very similar.
and we have Lucky doing really well in Korea. So it's a matter of communicating more and getting to know each other more.
Yeah.
And for that, I think, as you mentioned, we need young people coming, to India to learn and experience Indian culture, vice versa.
Sorry to interrupt you. Imtiaz, just for your interest, one of the Korean king, Kim Suro, he married an Indian princess from Ayodhya 2000 years ago, which is a very, very popular,
Wow.
well-known history in Korea. So there are a lot of interesting topics with that. Thomas, thank you once again for coming. We have our next question. Thank you for on the show. Miss An Hae-eun.
First of all, I'd like to say that I'm so honored to have this opportunity to ask you a question. And my question is, so now you've been making movies for about 15 years. And then I'd like to know what your goal as a movie maker when you just started your career and how has it changed?
My goal as a filmmaker, I think, is to tell stories that are popular and that everybody in the world can enjoy. And for this, I do not want to make my stories basic. I want to improve my craft as a filmmaker to be able to tell very complicated stories in a very simple manner so that everybody can understand and enjoy them.
Well, Imtiaz, thanks once again a lot for spending your time with us. It's very interesting being a fan and watching all your movies in those years, and even living out of India for so many years. Your movies, your songs, they have always kept us closer to our country. So thanks a lot again for joining us. And moving, thank you very much, Ambassador. And also I will pass on to Director of Indian Culture Center, Dr. Sonu Trivedi, for her vote of thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Lucky. And many, many thanks to Imtiaz ji for accepting
Thank you.
And spending so much time and being so generous with taking up all the questions also. And let me tell you that there was a question from Mr. Nalin Singh, who was your junior in Hindu College, and it was the Hindu College connection that we were able to tap you for this event. My husband, in fact, was also a junior. So that is how we could have this interaction. So thanks
It's a pleasure.
Thanks to the
It's a
Hindu
pleasure.
hostel connection.
Thanks to the Hindu hostel connection.
Yeah, thank you. and let me, in the end, formally propose a vote of thanks. It's been a great session, and many, many thanks to our most distinguished guest, Mr. Imtiaz Ali, for joining us today for this launch of Sarang 2020, and also to Mr. Lucky for making this session so lively through his witty questions and taking forward the conversation to entirely a different level, keeping us all engrossed. Thank you, Mr. Lucky, for this. And finally, to all the live participants for joining us here on Facebook. At this time, when the whole world is experiencing an unprecedented crisis because of the spread of COVID-19 virus, social distancing, and lockdowns world over, the Cultural Center has initiated online activities in its endeavor to keep in touch with the India lovers and Indian cultural enthusiasts in Republic of Korea. I'm sure today's lively session would have further reinforced our hard-pressed attempts to connect with the hearts and minds of people in Korea. At this moment, I would also like to acknowledge the dynamic leadership of our Ambassador, Her Excellency Sri Priya Ranganathan, and the team of very motivated and dedicated colleagues at the Embassy of India and the team of Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center for their support, along with our most valued partners, the Nami Island Inc., also the Asia Culture Center and Asia Culture Institute at Guangzhou, along with the cities, the two cities which are partnering with us, Gimhae city and Miryang city. We are very grateful to the city administration for live streaming this session in their respective cities, and soon we will take this sarang to these respective venues. Kamsahamnida, dhanyavad, and thank you. Thank you to all.
Thank you very much.